Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! Episode 237. Tonight we're reviewing The Good Liar. First things first, shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Try wink.com/moviebitches. You get $22 off your first month of wine.
So, The Good Liar.
Yeah.
The new Bill Condon movie.
Yeah, we didn't realize that until it came up on the screen. And we're like, oh, both of us at the same time. We're just like, oh.
And Carter Burwell did the music. He's like the Coen brothers.
Oh, right. I think he did just something recently that
probably.
And you were like, oh, he did all the Coen brothers music.
Oh, he did the music for a Goofy movie.
Right. That's what it was.
He's great.
Yeah.
Very talented composer.
Love it. So The Good Liar, Helen Mirren, Ian McKellen.
I'm sold.
You're right. We saw the trailer and I was like, this seems weird. I don't entirely know what's up, but that intrigues me.
Yeah.
Also Helen Mirren, I'm in.
Yeah. Yes. And Ian McKellen.
Of course.
He can come too.
Absolutely. But like, I mean, Helen Mirren for me is the big draw, and then Ian McKellen's like a big draw. Big.
Turns out she was the best part of the movie.
Absolutely. So the whole premise is that Ian McKellen and Helen Mirren meet on like an online dating service.
Yes.
But someone's lying, or maybe some things aren't what they seem. And
yeah.
That's kind of what the trailer sets up. And you're like,
who's conning who, and what's really going on, and who's lying to who, and who is the good liar? You know, that's sort of what's going on.
Yeah. So I guess I will say, spoiler alert.
Fully spoiler alert.
I mean, there's a lot. There was a plot twist that I did not see coming.
No. Well,
I mean, like, we kept guessing things that were almost it, but not.
No, I thought, I don't know if I liked this movie. I thought she was great.
Yeah.
And he was very good. Yeah. And their performances made it much better. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't think I'd recommend it necessarily.
Not really?
Like, by the end, I was like, oh, yeah. I don't know.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be either wackier, schmackier, more like entrapment, you know, like caper, heist, kind of like fun. Yeah. Or a murdery drama or something. I don't know. I was expecting something else. I was not expecting it to turn into like a World War II flashback and forward, like Nazi, all of the above stuff.
Yeah. So
I mean, historical.
It was more
than I expected.
I did not expect.
Which is okay, but just.
So, all of that being said, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about all of it. So, if you really don't want to be spoiled and you're like, I don't care, Helen Mirren, I'm in, you could see it first and then watch this.
It's not bad.
It's not. I didn't dislike it.
I didn't dislike it, but I don't know if I'd recommend it.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I was like, oh, should I tell my mom to see? No. I will say, it was only an hour and 50 minutes. Not too long, but it felt long.
It felt real long.
Lots of long. They left scenes long.
Well,
I think to try and build that suspense.
I mean, that's why I was like, oh,
what's going to happen?
This crazy shit's going to happen? I mean, it really should just be renamed Knowing Glances, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm.
You know, but that tone is what I wanted, and then it ended up being much more dramatic and upsetting.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, now I can't really enjoy this.
So, okay, so it starts and they go on this date and whatever, and we all know from the trailer and from the title and whatever that one of them's lying, if not both of them.
Well, you never trust Ian McKellen.
No.
Like, from the get, I was like, he's lying.
Yeah.
He's a fraud. Run away from him.
Yeah, he's lying. But then pretty early on, you also you're like, well, first of all, it's Helen Mirren, so like she knows what's up.
She knows.
Secondly, then you're like, okay, well, she must know, so then what's her angle? Yeah. And we're kind of like, is she trying to defraud him? But they never made it seem, I will say this, kind of like Jurassic World, never thought I would say that in this review. I thought they had a strange grasp on monetary figures. He's going through all this effort, right? They get these British investors.
Conning people out of their money.
Out of their money. But for like, 50, make it $100,000.
Right.
And I was like, that seems like a lot of legal like
trouble.
Risk. You're putting
high
a lot.
risk for not quite worth the reward.
And they needed to add a 0 to every figure. Oh, she's worth $20 million. Oh, he took them each for $1 million.
Yes, but then you have to explain more. Like, why is she so rich?
I guess
you have to like the backstory of that or whatever. And I think it's almost sadder and more.
It's true.
He's such a petty, small-time crook. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
He's still pulling all this bullshit, and yet he's still never got off the ground.
Right. Yeah.
Because he sucks.
Yeah.
So there's something sort of intriguing about that.
That's true.
But they don't really explore that.
No. Maybe double it. Just give me a little bit, like it just needed to be a little bit more, you know? Like who's getting excited over 100,000 pounds in the year 2019? I mean, don't get me wrong. If someone was like, here's 100,000 pounds, I'd be like, yes, please, thank you.
But I'm not going to like...
potentially
going to jail or being killed for...
No.
I mean, there isn't really any figure for me that would be like...
That's just what
let's go to jail.
Well, certainly. Like...
But
if someone gets pushed, if someone gets Frank Underwooded, or the opposite, so he Frank Underwood someone.
He fully murders someone after stealing $100,000 from him.
Yeah, just so that he's not found out. I guess we're just supposed to believe like, oh, he's soulless.
I don't think I like this movie.
No.
The more I'm like dissecting, the whole thing is waiting for the shoe to drop. The entire movie is this slow build. And so I kept saying throughout the movie, like, oh shit, this crazy shit's gonna happen.
Right.
This young guy that's her grandson is actually gonna be her lover.
Right.
And I was like, yes please.
Right, because there's like all these weird little, oh, he just stays over sometimes. Oh, he's a student at this thing, and I was a professor.
Are you jealous of Ian McKellen? So I was like, oh my god, and then it ends and they're making out on the beach just spending his money, and I was like, yes! But it's not that movie at all.
No, but also here's a question now that I just thought of. When she says to him, oh, it sounds like someone's jealous, Ian McKellen wasn't there, was he?
Not in the room.
So why would she say that?
You know, it didn't... This movie is like, on the surface, it's like, oh, that was very good and well acted and dramatic, and it has all the benchmarks of, you know, like Holocaust drama and like revenge and like all these things, but then when you dig just a little deeper, you're like, oh, it was a mess, kind of.
It really was. Like, here's my biggest problem with it. I think they did themselves a disservice. They all thought like, oh, by not knowing what either of their, like, which one's the good liar, which one's what's their motive, who's lying to who, it's a double, triple, you know.
Because you didn't know on either side for 2/3 of the movie
what
you're like, at a certain point I was like, okay, just tell me already.
Well, and his intent was just to defraud this poor old woman. You're like, well, this is kind of fucked. Like,
well, yeah,
I mean, it's certainly fucked, but like...
But there was no, I guess because he's Ian McKellen, you're like, aw, Ian McKellen, I love you. But he's really just a garbage person.
Absolutely.
Like, completely irredeemable garbage person. Yes. So, but you're never fooled by him. You're never like, oh, he's cute. Oh, no.
Right.
The whole time I was like,
garbage person. They showed too much of his hand, I felt like. When the whole story, I think, would be much more exciting if it was actually from Helen Mirren's side.
Oh, yeah.
And we just get carried along.
As she plots and plans.
Exactly.
You know, yes.
We learn more and more of how these pieces are fitting together. Or maybe we just have these flashbacks of her, like, remembering her childhood or, like, remembering, spoiler alert, this rape at 15 years old.
So the catalyst for the whole thing is that Ian McKellen raped her, and
then her family...
He turned her family into the SS, I guess.
Right.
And then they were ruined and everyone died. And
her dad gets murdered, her mom commits suicide.
Everything was just... I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but it was so over the top, like... And then my mom killed herself. And then all my sisters died in a bomb blast. It was like so, but it was all told in one monologue. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, I mean, I just feel like over time this would have been more impactful. I was like, what?
If like, you know, for whatever reason we're with her, she's reminiscing, she's going through like a photo book or something, whatever it is, so we're flashing back, and we're trying to understand, what does this have to do with anything? But okay, it's Helen Mirren.
My question. Well, I think that's my guess is that's what the book is. So it's based on a book.
Yeah.
It should be its own category of older woman flashes back to her Holocaust memories, historical drama, romance. It's its own category. There's a lot of them. My mom reads them all. And so I think the book was probably young her.
Yeah.
Back to here. And, and because it's a book, it's not visual, so you don't know who's who and who. Sure. And you just read the names and go, oh, I assume that's whoever, but oh no, he stole his identity. Right. It's much more interesting. That's my guess for that. But what I didn't understand was what was the catalyst for this ball to get rolling? For her.
I think she finally found him.
Like, if she's been trying to track him down for 60 years.
Right.
65 years.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yes.
And I'm not really
But it also doesn't seem like she really was.
No, she had a whole life.
But so that's what I'm saying, like, perhaps if it was something, right? Like, let's say that she's she's starting to remember all of these things. Oh God, she went to Berlin, or she was planning the trip with her husband. Although, was her husband dead? I guess he was dead.
Her husband was dead. I thought that's what triggers it. Death.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of stuff left out of the book.
There probably was. Then I would have loved that, where it's like, ooh, the husband dies. Whatever happens, she's triggered to her memories of like this rape, this traumatic event, and all of her family, all because of this one asshole.
Yeah.
And then either she's like, I want to find him.
Yeah.
And give him his due.
And maybe it starts as, I want to find him and confront him and just close this chapter in my life. Because she says at some point, like, oh, I've been locked in that room ever since. And then, like, 3 seconds later, she's like, oh, I forgave you
years ago.
A while ago, but I still need this revenge. Like, the way that was all handled felt very, like...
Because if there's one thing rape victims love, it's bloody revenge. And plush novelties.
And because, like, well, you know what, like, rape victims love bloody revenge. You know, it's like there's, like,
almost as much as dress shops.
Almost as much as dress shops.
Girls love dress shops. More than they hate rape.
Like, it's a weird thing where you're like, if it's done the right way, like, sure, here for it. Like, fuck him.
Yeah.
But, like, that didn't feel like her character.
No, that's what was so weird. Here's what I would have liked, too. Okay, so her husband dies.
Yeah.
She has this time. She's reminiscing and remembering her husband, their time. She remembers her child because she's going down memory lane.
Right.
And this all, like, reopens the wound, let's say. And she's like, I want to find out what happened to that fucker.
Yeah. Or I kind of like that she just finds him randomly, too.
But how would she know?
I mean...
How would you recognize Ian McKellen
from a woman's intuition.
Oh my God, right. But anyway, so then I like the idea that she's like researching him. Because they did show a little bit of that.
Right.
But then it's like...
Like I said, like, at first it starts as, I want to close this chapter. I didn't finish my sentence. And then... it becomes, oh, he's still a total fucking asshole.
Exactly. Oh, he's defrauding people.
Yes.
Yes. So quick commercial break and we'll be back with more Helen Mirren.
Yes.
So, okay, but so in my version,
yes, sorry,
that she would have done, so she's like, I want to find him, whatever. She gets help to find the research, whatever. Find out he's a total schmuck, defrauding people, blah, 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 going on these dates, taking women's money. Maybe we see a little bit more of that, right? And then, like, we see...
a little Bialystok.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
The Count heard you this morning, Rudolpho. Watch the road, watch the road.
I can't take my eyes off you. How can I drive when you drive me mad?
And then...
What?
I was just thinking about the producers.
It just got there.
Well, I mean, like, I was just, like, took a moment to think of all the little old ladies and then, yeah, anyway. But yes, very that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, oh, no, this has to end. He needs to get his comeuppance. And then, you know, this whole groundwork of this masterminded plan.
It was too masterminded. Mm-hmm. Like, it was like, but that wouldn't, what if one thing went wrong?
Right.
Like, it was too much. Right. And then his sort of comeuppance were so, like, it was so tit for tat, and it just didn't feel appropriate for the tone and the characters.
It was very odd.
It was like, so she's like, haha, I've stolen all your money, fuck you. And then he tries to rape her again? At least attack her again. It was very much like, I'm on top of you. Yes. It was like a visceral, like, oh no.
God.
And then she lets the hooligans that he defrauded beat him into a stroke where he is completely incapacitated and a drooling disaster. And I mean, fuck him, but like, it was so over the top. It just didn't feel right for the character.
No.
She seemed better than that. Like, she walks out of the room after she's stolen his money. She's like, I'm closing the chapter. I'm past this. I'm better than you. Like, you know, and so I was like, yes. And then she walks away and he's just penniless. But then it was like, and then I'm gonna let them beat you too. Right. It was just like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yikes. I don't know.
It was a lot.
The tone was slow, but then also, whoa.
Yes.
Okay, well, and then there was like weird, I mean, I guess maybe Ian McKellen was miscast.
Maybe.
Because he's so lovely as a person, and sort of lovable. And so that would work if the movie was trying to make you think he's good, and then the switch is that he's bad.
Right.
But the more I think about it, like every one of his actions, every single scene, he's horrible. There was like lines in this where like he has this fictitious son, which this is all made up, right? And so this is like, oh, he's an asshole even when he's pretending.
Right. Oh, I have a son who moved to Australia, but then I don't
approve of his lifestyle. He designs kitchens. What? Was that specific?
Was that supposed to be like a nod to homosexuality?
There was so many specifically weird things.
It was just like,
but like his lifestyle, that is designing kitchens. I guess it was just code for he's gay.
Right. I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I don't think they handled... So she invites Ian McKellen to live at her house because he's pretending to have a bad knee and all this stuff. So in retrospect, having known the ending that he had raped her and she was feeling this trauma again.
Would you be willing to be in a household alone with him?
It just seemed so unnecessarily traumatizing to her.
Absolutely.
I'm going to invite my rapist to live with me. And then there's that really uncomfortable scene where he comes in and he's like, hey, you want to cuddle? And she's like,
no.
No, thank you. But knowing what happens, you're like, oh no. Why did he have to live there? They still could have gotten to know each other. Did her fake grandson, was he always there just in case? Like, what if he had attacked her?
Oh, maybe?
It just felt like unnecessarily dangerous.
Certainly knowing at the end that he was her rapist, that seems like a thing you would never, ever, ever want to do.
Just
to live in a house with
particularly since it was unnecessary for her plan. Yeah. You know, and it wasn't like we find out later she's been training for like protection.
Yeah.
It was just uncomfortable. I do want to talk about Helen Mirren's outfits.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, does she look great?
She is just a goddess.
A goddess. The lipstick always matches the sweater or the dress or the sundress or the silk tops or these chemise. I mean, it was good. And I love that we find out later that all of that was her facade of this weak, dumb, just sort of nice, dotty old lady, even though she looked like fucking god.
Yeah, but there was always it's Helen Mirren. She can't not be fabulous. Yeah. But there was this kind of fabulosity, but under this, he says, I feel like I'm trapped in beige. And I was sure.
Yeah.
I liked that. And then, later on, then we see her in this, house, and she's fabulous. Prince, and
she's got a
short hair,
sassy haircut and everything. It just was so, I don't know. We needed to be in on it with her.
Yep.
We needed to be like, yes, bitch, get him.
Yeah, get him.
And it was more like, oh, is she gonna?
Are they gonna? It was, the movie was set up for 98% of it. That it was just and then she was also trying to take advantage of him. Right. They both were not actually looking for love and companionship or whatever.
Well, and what about that angle that she catfished him in such a way? They didn't use that in an interesting way.
No. And then when they reveal that it was her rapist.
Right.
Who was also sort of a Nazi?
A Nazi sympathizer, let's
say. I guess.
All the flashbacks
assumed the identity.
All the flashbacks were ill-told. I was very confused because also one of the younger hims or his friends looked identical to Jim Carter, who's also in this movie, his accountant.
Oh, you thought so?
I thought it looked like he had the exact same nose. So I was like, oh, that's young Jim Carter.
But no, because Jim Carter is much younger than that.
Sure. Yes. I think this was just a bad adaptation of a book.
Yeah.
That potentially is not a good book either. I don't know.
I haven't read it.
And was elevated by the fucking fabulosity that is Helen Mirren. And the fabulosity that's Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
But on a whole, it was just sort of ill-told.
Yeah.
And took the wrong things to focus on and just didn't...
Yes, I agree.
It just didn't.
Nope. It just didn't.
Yeah, but Helen Mirren.
Oh my god.
I would watch. I mean, it was basically like watching her watch paint dry because a lot of this movie was really boring.
I would do it.
But I was entertained.
Oh.
I was fast. I was like, yes, bitch. You just stare at him and contemplate your dress.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I would be very content to just sit in a room and stare at Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, you're great.
Ooh, now Helen Mirren and Glenn Close in some sort of...
Like, Heartbreakers. Geriatric.
Yes.
I mean, that term's a little harsh, but the Golden Heartbreakers.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, yes.
Too bad Golden Girls is already taken.
Right.
Golden Gals.
Because like golden, they're taking the gold from the rich men.
And they're the golden years.
Right.
Of your...
It is puns. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like fully here for that, though.
We can workshop it. But yeah, I would say I didn't actively dislike this movie, particularly because of the main performances. Yes. But it just missed...
Yeah, it missed the mark.
It missed the mark.
Yeah. Bummer. Cheers to Helen Mirren.
Oh, cheers to Helen Mirren.